Yeah.
All right. So this other one says, oh, I don't know if it's worded right, but I'm gonna read it the way Janae sent it. She said, "Why do most guys leave women after giving birth?" That's I don't know if I have the
So let
answer for
me
that.
see if I can find it was worded very similarly to
Yeah.
that. I'll see if I can find it, but
'Cause
it was
like-
a huge debate going on
Mhm.
in regards to men as soon as their girlfriend, whatever you want to classify it as, they leave their woman.
Like me personally, I wouldn't know because I have one kid, and I was there for everything.
But
Every
sometimes
doctor's appointment, I was there for his birth.
the
everything.
way how that's worded too, it can't just be on the guy. What about the woman that kicks the guys out after? Or
Yeah, that
No.
has happened too. But the thing is, and all right, you got a point. Like, say for instance, you get a girl pregnant, right, and she has a kid or whatever, and then you guys break up. Even if it's not your fault why you guys break up, people
watch
are
it blame
gonna
you.
think
Yeah.
you walked away because of that reason, or you're not, you don't want to be a dad, or you know what I mean. So the dude in most cases, the
Mhm.
dude always gets the blame.
But that doesn't
Even if
have
that's not the
anything
case.
with dealing with how you treat that kid. You could be in some battles with the woman or the mom or whatever, and you got to stop talking, but your kid has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So
The way how you treat your kid shouldn't reflect on how you and the mom's relationship or you
True.
and the dad's relationship are based. Because at the end of the day, that's your kid. That's your flesh and blood. So for me,
And also too, what a lot of people don't pay attention to, having a child or being pregnant sometimes also alters the female's what's the word I'm looking for, like how she reacts to certain things it could impact her in a bad way.
true.
Because she sometimes when females are pregnant, they're more aggressive and stuff like that. If it's the dude's first child, he's never had that experience. Sometimes they don't know how to handle
Yeah,
it.
you can't put all the blame on them if they don't know how to handle it.
They
You
don't
gotta-
know
if
how to
you've-
handle it.
For like, so say if you've had, as a woman or a guy, you've had kids prior.
So wait, hold
And-
on. So the actual question is, what makes most men leave their woman after giving birth?
What makes? Most
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
tough one. But
As I said,
It's a debate.
because usually when I answer questions, I try to put myself in the situation, or I try to talk based on my experiences, but I have no experience with that part. Like I don't know. Like even with in my case with my dad, I don't know why my dad didn't stick around. Like I've really never asked my mom that, like, why. I don't think she knows why. You know what I mean? I don't think she would know if I even asked. So it's like I don't know what that case is, but I know in terms of me being a dad, I'm definitely gonna be there for my son, no matter what. You know what I mean? And if I get more kids, it's the same, whether I'm with their mom or not. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be there. But in terms of like it's hard. Like as I said, it's hard for me to answer because I don't know this. But the main reason, maybe not the main reason, but one of the reasons why I go so hard for my kid is because when I look at him, I see myself. You know what I mean? Like he's like literally like my twin. Like that's like how I looked when I was growing up. Like his mannerisms, the way he sounds, like the things he does, the way he thinks, like everything is me. I can't even be mad at him with the stuff he does because I would have done the same thing. Like it's mind blowing sometimes when I think about it. Like even if he does something like that would want me, like I would get upset about, like just me like taking a breath and thinking about it, I'm like, I would have done the same shit. But I'm not gonna let him know that. I'm gonna still reprimand him and talk to him about it, like and scold him, But then in the back of my head, sometimes I'll even call my mom and say, "Yo, you wouldn't believe what he did today," and she just laugh because she's like, "You would have done the same thing." Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like, say for instance, like if he does something that I deemed unfit, he's not just gonna, not all the time, but he's not. It's not like he's gonna get like rude or whatever, but he's gonna question me about it. Like, why is it wrong for me to do that? And I used to be the same way. Like, I've always wanted questions. Like, even now I get in trouble at my job with authority because that's how I am. Like, if you tell me that I did something wrong that I don't think it's wrong, I need an explanation. Why?
You can't have said this wrong without telling me
exactly
what exactly I did wrong.
Bro, my son is the same way, but knowing that we got the same personality, it makes it even easier to deal with him because it's like I'm literally dealing with myself. So saying that to say this, like, that's the reason why me personally, I couldn't have walked away. So I just don't know how to answer that question because I couldn't do it. But in the same breath, though, like as I said, with females, like, and it doesn't happen with all females, but I've seen it happen where females they'll get really aggressive when they're in that prenatal state, if that's the word, if I'm using that word in the correct term.
Also postpartum
depression? And then you have postpartum depression. So
that's what a lot of the comments were saying.
There's a lot of things that where if it's an unexperienced, and this is not me making excuses for guys, because as I had said before, I personally do not know the answer to this question. I'm just thinking about it and just trying to respond. So also with that postpartum thing that you're talking about, that could also be something like he can't deal with that. He can deal with her excessive aggression that he's never had to deal with prior to her being pregnant or having that child. So he's like, yo, I'm done. And then she too is going to say some stuff behind that instead of him thinking that, oh shit, I shouldn't be walking away, he's going to be like, see, that's why I don't want to be here. Because instead of she saying, oh, I'm sorry, or I'm this, he's like, you dirty this or whatever, you get out of it. Worse if it's her place. Woo! You already know. So
yeah, a lot of the comments mention the postpartum depression. A lot of the comments mention accident. You know, it was just something like a one-time thing or something that wasn't serious, a little sneaky link. And the guy just wasn't ready for that responsibility. I forgot what the other ones were, but I'm glad
you said that part, because you remember we did an episode where I asked that question and people thought I was crazy to ask the question. Like, if the dude wasn't ready, like he'd made that clear, like told you that I'm not ready for a kid. If the girl goes forward, I wouldn't say she goes and gets pregnant, because she can't get pregnant off her own. So I'm not saying it like that. If she gets pregnant, and then in the stages where they could take precautions, where she could even take the morning after or go get it aborted or whatever. Like, even though I don't like that abortion thing or whatever, but that's the world we live in. You know what I mean? So I'm putting the variables out there. If he then says, okay, he goes to the store and he gets that morning after and he says, and she said, I'm not taking it because I want this baby. And he's like, babe, I don't think I'm ready for a child. And she goes ahead and gets that child against his will. Should he still be responsible for that child? Society's gonna say yes because you're a deadbeat dad and you're this and that. But if the shoe was on the other foot and he wants that child and she decides, I'm not ready, I'm not messing my body up for whatever reason, she's not ready, you know what society's gonna say? Her body, her choice. So why isn't it her body, her choice when the dude doesn't want a kid?
Because women are here to procreate.
So are men.
We are too. But what if
because she can't procreate on her own?
You cannot.
But and I think I made the same stance when we talked about it on the podcast. If at that moment, me personally, if I'm like, hey babe, or hey so and so, I'm pregnant, like I kind of want to keep it, and they're like, oh, I don't want anything to do with it, whatever, and I continue on with that pregnancy and to have a kid and raise a child, that's on me now. Like you have to be one track minded on like, all right, I'm the sole provider for this kid, because he already told you up front what it was. If that's what you want to do, but I don't want it.
We've seen
like
a lot of women do exactly what you said, and then later down the line they come and say, hey, child support.
Bro, listen, I know of a case right now that happened where me and the female, we had, because we were close back then, we had a conversation, and she literally said, I just want a child, I don't care who the father is, I just want a kid. I said to her in that conversation, I was like, do you have family members here? She said, no, all my family is in another state. So I'm like, so how is it gonna work in terms of like, because mind you, I have a child. I was lucky enough to always have someone in the family where my son could stay with, or somebody could be at my house to stay with him, where we didn't have to get a babysitter. No, I'm lying. I remember we used to pay somebody to babysit, but it was somebody in the family, so it was never no outsider. You know what I mean? It was my my in-laws' mom. She just migrated here, but she was already at a retirement age, so she hasn't worked since she's been here. She's just been chilling. The only work she did pretty much was just to take care of my son. So we paid her to take care of my son when he was, I think we did that for maybe like a year. You know what I mean? Or when it wasn't full time, it was like anywhere in between when we really needed somebody. You know what I mean? But so I said to the girl, I'm like, yo, this was my experience, but I don't think everybody's gonna be that lucky. That's why I asked her about family or whatever. So I'm like, how are you gonna, daycare is expensive. Like that's one of the most expensive part of raising a child, bro. Daycare.
It's like mortgage.
Daycare is like super expensive. Super expensive.
I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom.
Because like some places, what you pay a week or for the month, bro, like that's some people's wages. I know that for a fact. So I was like, yo, how are you gonna handle that? I'll get through it. Boom, she got pregnant. That's what Janae would say. She got pregnant, right? and as soon as all those hardships hit, she put the dude on child support. Aren't you the same person that said all you wanted was a kid? Making the dude's life a living hell right now. She messed up his car, want to fight his girl, like all. I'm like, bro, like you said you wanted this, like you literally said this is what I want,
and you don't get off child support until like
that's insane.
You're 18 or you
no.
Take
if the kid goes to college, it's until they're finished with college. Yep.
I thought it was until you were like 18.
No, I think it goes up to like 20,
21. No,
20. I think I don't know the age where it is. Even if they're in college, that's it. But if at 18 they decide they want to go to college, you're still responsible for that. If they don't want to go, then you're good. But if they want to, yeah, you're still responsible.
I do commend the moms that's doing it on their own. Like the dads will get them pregnant and then out of nowhere switch up like, oh, I don't want to deal with this no more.
Because there are a lot of situations like that.
I do commend.
You see that a lot.
I do commend all the moms that is raising their kids on their own, because for me, I judge a woman based off how she treats her kids.
True.
You cannot treat me as a king, but your kid is not getting the same princess, queen, or king treatment.
I'm the same way.
It doesn't work because that's your offspring. That's your flesh and blood. You should not be treating somebody else better than your kid. I
dated somebody for a period of time, right? Where she had a daughter and a son. Beautiful kids. But she did something twice that made me look at her different, and that was one of the deciding factors why I didn't have like a full-on relationship with her. It was like she was a good person. She treated me like more than a king, bro. Like as soon as I took my clothes off, those shits were washed. She would clean my shoes. Like she did everything. But you know what?
Not the same for her kids.
Now I would say not the same. She treats them good, but she treated me better than she treated them. Because I remember twice she went overseas, and when she came back, everything in her suitcase was for me. She brought nothing for her daughter, nothing for her son, both times. I swear to God, bro, everything in that suitcase was mine. Was I happy to get them? Yes. Yeah. But when I realized the kids got nothing,
you was upset.
I felt bad, bro. I was like, how? And it's the fact that I knew that she genuinely, if I told you she didn't love those kids, because they were well taken care of. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, it just didn't seem right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're going on vacation and bringing a guy back.
If it's even if she bought like a souvenir like for them, I would
something to play with.
I got cologne, I got clothes, I got all types of stuff. But her kids got nothing.
Yeah, no, that's a little.
And I was like, nah.
And that's one thing I like about.
But bro, like, she's one of those females that when she finds a guy that she likes,
that's it.
She loves hard. Yeah. And she, bro, hand and foot, bro. Like, my dinner would, like, bro.
Let's stick a pin in that.
My food is cooked. Like, everything is taken care of, bro. But at the same time, like, just that one thing
made you not.
Yeah. Let's stick a pin on that. But question for you, because you've been through the experience, and you can answer it if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
If it happened in your situation, because you are a dad, how did you deal with postpartum? Because a lot of the comments and a lot of things that we see just in social media, you know, even in celebrities and things like that, like, it's really the postpartum part and after birth and adjusting to the new schedule. You know, your kid may not sleep at night. How did you adjust or deal with that?
Like for me, I treated my kid's mom like an egg. During pregnancy, after pregnancy, until my son was maybe like old enough to manage himself to move around. Like, I was there, as I said, I was there for everything. Like, so let me start from, say, she being pregnant and her first doctor's visit. Once I found out she was pregnant, I didn't want her to do anything. Like, I would do everything for her as long as I was there, as long as I was in close proximity to her. Everything. I don't want to lift anything. I did everything. I started to do the only thing I didn't do much of, even though I did sometimes, is cook, because I can cook, but I don't like to cook. But if it's like, say, to help moving the furniture for her to clean, I did all that. If it's to do the laundry, I did all that, because laundry bags are heavy. So I would bring the laundry. I would bring the bags down in the basement. I would do the laundry myself. Like, I would make sure I did all that stuff. All the doctor's appointment, I made sure they were on the days that I didn't work, so I could take her to those appointments. I could be there, so I don't have to be coming home and asking, oh, so what did the doctor say today? I swear to God, I didn't miss any doctor's appointments. I was there for the birth of my son. I was supposed to cut his umbilical cord, if I'm calling the word correctly, because I always messed it up. But he was premature, so I didn't get the option to do it. But I was there though. I went to, my son was in the NICU so my son was born the 21st of May, and Father's Day is when? What week in June?
The second week in
So I got to take him home. It's like around Father's
the 15th, 16th, somewhere.
So he was in the NICU from the 21st of May till Father's Day. I got him to take him home on Father's Day. So that's pretty much maybe like
2-3 weeks,
like almost a month. Or something, right? I was in the NICU every day. As soon, like, I would leave there, go home, shower, go to bed. At that time I was doing day shift. Right? I would go home, I would sleep, I wake up, shower, go to work. I go home, shower, go to the NICU. So I would stay there as long as I could. And that was my routine every day. I was literally there more than she was. Because, she just had a baby, she's a little weak or whatever. She had to be pumping So my freezer was filled with milk, like so much milk, bro. Like we could have sold that shit. Swear to God, that it was so much. And I saw her going through even the pain of how when her breast got swollen because she's producing so much milk, she's like crying and combing that shit out because the pumps don't work as fast as she wants. I was there for everything, rubbing her feet because they're swollen, everything. So I don't know if she had postpartum stress. I don't think she did because I don't remember her, you know what I mean, snapping at me or anything. Like, I think that it was a good transition, but I was there for everything. So even if it did happen, I was there. You know what I mean? I made sure she was good. You know what I mean? I made sure everything was good because that's my job, and I loved her and I loved my son. So I did everything I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? And that's how it's supposed. But not all guys can handle that. Yeah, not all guys can stay there to see a female have a baby. Like, not everybody can withstand that. I saw everything.
Yeah,
I saw
some
the
guys
crowning,
say
everything.
I whatever.
Bro, I saw everything, and I'm glad I did.
I saw somebody give birth one time.
You know what? You know what? And I've said this. I saw women in a different light after the birth of my son. Women go through so much to bring a child in the world, bro. Like, you never imagine until you see it.
Even just throughout pregnancy too. So, like, my niece, she's older than me, but she's a mom of 2 beautiful girls, my godchildren, Haven and Jayana. But even just seeing the transition of, you know, stomach getting big, breast and feed, and having to adjust your diet and everything, like, we go through so much. And then it wasn't her, but she was high risk, but my friend from high school, I was in the room. It happened so, like, unexpectedly, but it was amazing. And at first I'm like, oh, I'm in this room, like, I'm about to watch you give, like, you want me to look in between your legs, like, what?
Yeah, that shit is.
But then, like, the
crazy.
baby was coming, and you just see, like, the crowning, you see the head, and then you see the baby come out, and then the crying, and
as long as the baby and breech, it doesn't take long.
It really like doesn't. I think maybe 3 pushes, and
then you hear those cries, and then
it was such an amazing experience, and, like, you really see a woman's body change just like this, and then go right back in a sense in just minutes, and it's like amazing.
It's an amazing experience.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that
definitely.
And as I said, not all guys can handle it, but if you feel like it's something you can handle, and you're in love with the person that is giving birth to your child, try to be there.
I feel like
try to experience.
When I do eventually have a kid, I want to experience it.
Try to experience.
I've seen people.
It's something that's gonna make you appreciate your female more. You know what I mean? It's just, and even if, say, the relationship doesn't work out and you guys aren't together anymore, just females in general, you're gonna look at them differently. You know what I mean? Especially like me personally, I love seeing females pregnant. The only thing that changed that for me was when I lost my daughter. Cause like for that time when I lost my daughter to, like, I can't give you like a definite time frame, but there was a time where I hated that. Like, I hated seeing females pregnant during that time, and it was just a trauma. Because like, it reminded me of what I lost. And even seeing people with, like, young kids, it would just always bring me back to that memory that my daughter should have been here. But then after, like, you know what I mean, the years went by, it got easier and easier. So like now, it doesn't bother me as much. Like maybe you say 2-3 years ago, I couldn't sit here and talk about it without breaking down. Like, I couldn't. You know what I mean? But now I can, because like not that I've I wouldn't say forgotten it, but it's just easier to deal with, you know? But
yeah,
bro,
I can't wait to have
that
kids.
shit is it's beautiful. But, and you know the weirdest thing about it is there's such a thin line between life and death with the female giving birth.
And definitely in Black women.
Because
there's a very thin line.
True.
We're very
like
disregarded.
there's also a female can develop low blood pressure during pregnancy. She can get gestational diabetes, and if she's not careful, it could become full-blown diabetes if it's not detected early enough. And it could also damage the baby too. So there's like so much stuff. That's why they got to go to the doctor so often.
What?
Literally.
So I have a question.
No.
And it might not be the right question, but it's
ain't
about
no wrong question, bro. Just ask the question you ask.
What would you do in this in the case of, because I see a lot of people say, or the question is, who would you choose to save if your lady's giving birth? Would you save the mom or the kid?
Save me.
What would you do? Because I've seen a lot of people say they would rather save the kid because that's what the mom would have wanted, or they would have chosen to save the mom because they could try again.
I would only say
that's
what would you do?
Hard question.
Me personally, I'm gonna say save me, right? And here's my perspective on it, just mine. Save me, right? Whatever the issue is with why I couldn't fully come to term with my pregnancy, most times it can kind of be corrected or fixed, you know, whether it's my diet, whether it's medication, whatever the case may be, and we can always try again. I would rather you save me because at least I don't want my partner to go through that pain like, oh, you know, we made this great sacrifice. And, you know, sometimes men do get in their feelings like, oh, you know, like I gave her a baby. Like she went through this pregnancy because I was here and we went through it together, and she could go through it because I'm here. So I wouldn't want you to feel guilty, or I wouldn't want you to be like, man, like I have this beautiful baby, but my wife isn't here, or my girlfriend's not here, whatever the case may be. Save me. We can go through our grief and our hurt and our trauma together, and then we can go for that miracle baby. And then that will make me personally, I think it would make life and parenthood a little bit more like sweeter, because we've been through something so tragic and we worked through it, and we're stronger than ever. And now we do have this healthy baby boy or baby girl, or this healthy kid, whatever the case may be, to actually enjoy and go through parenthood together. So me personally, save me. That's me.
What would you say, Sean?
I'd not say it's an easy answer, but I would save the female. I would save my girl. Reason being, because we can always have another child. You know what I mean? It's not going to be as easy to find the same qualities in a person that I found in that person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I had to make that decision when I lost my daughter, because I think if we had waited longer, I would have to have made that decision. Well, even though as I said, I miss my daughter so much, but I wouldn't have had it any other way, because we already had a child prior. You know, my son was like 5 or 4, I think, at the time. So what would I have told him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That his mom passed, like, you know what I mean? Like, so in that, I would, and if I would, as I said, they didn't give me those options, but if it came to that and I had to do it all over again, I would still chose her, because as I said, we could always try again. We could always have another child. Choosing the child, it would have to be say the risk, what the risks were, because if they're saying, well, we could take the child, but there's a possibility that she could also go, then maybe if I'm with those odds, I'm like, damn. So what are the odds if I try to save the child? Like, could the child also possibly die? And they said, nah, chances are the child is gonna be fine if we go that route. But if we try to save both, or try to, there's a possibility that, you know what I mean, that's different. But You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you
For
say?
me, it's a tough situation.
It is.
It's very tough.
You got to choose one.
You gotta choose.
Because yes, you would want to have that kid because you went through like 9 months of carrying that child. You want to, at the same time, you don't want your partner to go. So it's a 50-50. It's like, and then also you don't want that to have that resentment of like, I let my wife die or I let my kid die. You know, so it's tough for me. Like and also for personally for me, I kind of almost went through something like that in my own life. So not in that situation. In the situation of my mom was ready to have me, and she told me this years later. So I kind of gained more respect and love for her because I was a troublesome kid. But when she came out and said it, yeah, me,
Troublesome kid,
trouble. I give trouble every day.
I could see that. Definitely.
My nickname was Pepper for a reason.
Gosh.
But no, when she came out and said to me, I almost didn't make it. I was kind of like, huh? I was confused. As I said earlier, confuddled. Confuddled.
I'm definitely going to look up that word, bro.
No, she said it to me that she went to the hospital, and when she got to the hospital and signed in, checked in, whatever, my dad wasn't there at the moment. The nurses looked at her and sent her to a different hospital. That was like an hour away. And then when she got to the next hospital, they told her to go back to the hospital. Do you want to lose your kid? Like, so it was just like,
it's an actual word. I swear to God. It says, in the English language, it means a state of extreme confusion and frustration. And they use it in the proper, bro.
I'm proud of you.
You taught me something, bro. Because I was laughing. I was like, bro, is that even a word?
I'm proud of you.
Confuddled, okay?
Oh, shit.
Proud of you.
It's a real word.
It's
English
a real
dictionary.
word.
Oh, it's part of the ambiance, guys.
I was about to run out of here.
Yo, Janae was about to take off just now.
I was about to.
You know what? We choke.
Yeah, but it's an actual word though. Sorry, I cut you off.
Really good. So yeah, they sent her. She went to the right hospital. They told her to go to the next hospital. She got there. They're like, go back to the hospital you just came from because you could lose your kid. Now, when I asked her what happened in between, like what did she say to my dad? She said she didn't want to take the joy away from him because I'm his first kid.
Yeah, but the
thing
thing is though, and Janae's only saying that now because she hasn't been in that situation most of the times. If the female is aware that those options are on the table, she's gonna choose the kid. Yeah. That's the difference with males and females.
So when that happened, I literally asked
I can guarantee you, like, and if you ask doctors, I'm gonna go out on a limb to say 9 out of 10
the woman will choose a kid.
If the female hears that conversation, she's gonna say, save my child.
Yeah, it's like maternal instinct, but I don't know. You're right. I haven't been in that situation.
Yeah, you haven't been in that situation. So
I'm just thinking like what I might do. Yeah,
because I've seen situations where females be like, I don't want kids, and they found themselves pregnant, and that whole pregnancy changed them. I've seen that happen.
I used to work with a couple of women that be like, no, like I don't want kids, like I'm too awkward, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And they have kids, and they're great mothers. Like,
it's
so weird and like shocking.
It's a
certain.
As I said, bro,
certain moms,
like for like me being a father, as I said, I was there for everything. So me just experiencing even what you said about just seeing her stomach grow and feeling my son move, especially either moving to my touch or to the sound of my voice or stuff like that, like. Everything, bro, like it changes you.
Babies are amazing.
When my son was born, like for the first few months, I don't think I went outside. I don't think I was away from him unless I'm at work. Like that was the only time. Now, as soon as I'm done working home, and and he would be in his crib sleeping, and I would be just there, just watching over him. And even now, I think I'm still more paranoid about the safety of my son than even his mom.
And that's
because like I don't want, my son is old enough to walk to school, this and that, but I still don't want him to do it.
And especially how the world is today, kids are so innocent and so like curious.
My son is turned 12 the 21st of May past, right? And to this day, if we go out and he wants to use the restroom, I'm going in there with him, whether I want to use the restroom or not. And I'm standing outside that door and I'm waiting till he's done.
Even till
when he's washing his hands, I'm standing right beside him. He washes his hands and we go outside. If we go to the trampoline park anywhere and he's playing, I gotta have a line of sight. Like I don't want, like he's so agile and so nimble, I can't keep up with him anymore. But I make sure wherever he's at, I can see him.
Even to this day,
like his mom, I don't know how she can do it, because it's not like I can say, oh, I love my son more than she does, because I don't think any of us love him more. I think we both love him as much as we possibly could. But I don't know how she can do that, where he can be like playing out there and she can be like talking with her sisters or her cousins or whatever, and not really like, she's watching him but not as close as I would watch him. Like I remember my son loves the water, loves to swim. Was last year, I think it was either Labor Day or 4th of July, he went to his cousin's house because they got a pool, and all he asked me was to drop him off because he couldn't wait for his mom because she was asleep. So he called me. He's like, yo, Dad, can you drop me off to so-and-so's house? I was like, all right, no problem. Lo and behold, I didn't even know he didn't say nothing to his mom. You know what I mean? He just took his phone and called me.
He said he want to go swimming.
I picked him up, brought him there. Here goes my phone. Where is I'm like, I got him. Like, he told me that he wanted me to drop him off. She's like, oh, that damn kid. I told him to wait because I wanted to take a nap first. So I was like, nah, don't worry, I got him. Anyways, I ended up spending the whole day there until she got there, because like I just couldn't leave him and go nowhere knowing that he's gonna be swimming. Mind you, adults are there. My brother-in-laws, my sister-in-laws, older cousins, people who can swim. I don't give a fuck.
It's your kid.
I'm not leaving, bro. And when I'm leaving, I'm still leaving stern warning. Yo, make sure you watch the kids in the pool. And I got in my car and I look again. I say, yo, make sure you go watch the kids, because I didn't see anybody move. I'm still telling them, though, the kids are swimming. Somebody needs to be back there. Please. Because like I just no. I'm paranoid when it comes to my son.
I think my dad is the same way. Even till this day, if that man does not hear from me, how many years find yourself?
Yeah, my mom used to be that way until I moved here.
Until what?
So like if I was going anywhere when I lived in Jamaica, even though we didn't live in the same house, I would still call her or text her. I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm going here, or Mom, I'm going there. So it's like making sure she knows where I'm at all the time.
For me, I feel like I'm being clocked. I hate it, but I be like, he becomes like,
bro, when you become a parent, then
I'm gonna understand. That's why he also says it's like the lessons that he's learned or the things that he's gone through in his life. He's giving me those lessons or telling me these things so I don't face the same obstacles. And you know how we are. We're stubborn. We want to do our own thing. We want to learn these, on our own. He's like, I don't want you to have to learn it. I'm telling you right now what could happen or how it could happen, so that
you're still gonna have to learn from your own mistakes, but at least you have it in the back of your mind that my dad said this. So even if you find yourself in that situation, you kind of have
some type of guidance,
some type of guidance and knowledge to know that okay, what decision do I make at this moment?
And sometimes in the heat of the moment, you might
you're still gonna mess up.
You're gonna go off of what
you're still gonna mess up.
So and then when I tell him, he's like, I told you this will happen or that will happen. And he'll be like, sometimes you need to just listen and follow the rules that I lay out for you, because it will always set you free and out of trouble. And I'm like, yeah, but I just want to learn on my own.
Listen,
you're like the kid with the fire.
Me, my sister, my brother, we are grown. Like, my brother is grown.
Yeah, no matter how grown you are, you still a kid to them.
Yeah.
If neither one of us check in with her, and it's not even a little text message, sending a video on that we found on Facebook, whatever. If we don't do any of those, one time my sister was in college. She was an RA at UAlbany, and she was in training all day. My mom, I don't know if she forgot or just didn't know. I don't know. But my sister was in training all day. When I tell you by 3:00 p.m., when I got out of school, my mom was like, put your stuff, we going to Albany. I said, well, what happened? She said, I can't get a hold of Ashley. I said, well, did you call the school? So she called the school, she called the university police, she called until she finally got a hold of my sister. And my sister was like, yo, like, I was in training. Like, she said, well, I didn't know that. And that lady's crazy.
And I'm going to tell you this. That's one of the worst feelings ever. It feels like forever. The worst feeling. When you can't get a hold of your loved one, especially your child, that's the worst, because your mind is going like at 1,000 miles per hour. You're thinking the worst. You don't want to, because you don't want to put that in the universe, but like you be like, oh, I just hope this didn't happen or that didn't happen. Like, so
even now, like, I call my mom. My mom is perfectly fine. Like, she's great, but I'll call her and she don't answer. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Let some time go by, and I call her again. Okay, but why are you, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not answering me? Like, what are you doing?
If I call them and they don't answer, I'm like, so what was you doing? You answered the phone call.
Like, who's more important than your favorite child?
I don't like the household. I don't even know the number in my head, but I'm gonna find that number and call it.
I be doing the same thing.
But then
I'm your favorite child. Answer me.
They be like,
I'll be like, yo, all of my answer your phone number.
They'll be like, oh, so. Me up on a car with such and such, or I was sleeping.
My mom
I'm
is
like,
always
no. But then if I do it to them, it's like,
Bro,
like it's the same thing when I do it to you. You can't get mad.
My mom is always on the phone.
Or if they call me and I decline the call, they call right back and I'm like, I'm declining the call for a reason. Yeah. And they still do it. I'm like, if I don't answer, there might be a reason why I'm not answering.
Yo, what? My mom does the same thing. Like, I'll call her and she don't answer. She'll be like, oh, I was on the phone with so-and-so. But then let us actually be on the phone. And she'll be like, oh, hold on, so-and-so is calling.
Yeah,
they're more important than me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
no, because they live in England or they live, so they haven't heard. I'm like, I don't care.